Yo, GM. What it do, boys?
GM.
Welcome back, Mr.
Oh
Mr.
man.
Michael Johnson tagline.
Yo, full docs. What are you starting off on Monday? You chose some violence. Sheesh. Yeah, we're back. We are back. It's Monday. What a great weekend. I don't know about you. I had a relaxing weekend. Sometimes it's nice to just disconnect a little bit. Don't look at Twitter. Don't look at Discord as much. Don't check prices. Don't even worry about the prices. Just enjoy. Just have some time with the boys. Have some time out golfing. Go watch some golf. It was a good weekend. How was your weekend?
As I like to say, man, market's gonna market.
Market's gonna market.
Market's gonna market with you or without you. Market's
Yep.
gonna market. So I don't pay attention to none of that. In terms of the bad signs,
Yeah.
it's just about when it's time to secure those profits. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. But
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about it later. But did you catch any of the Masters this week? Were you paying close attention at all, or were you mainly just kind of maybe watching our pool a little bit, just out of interest?
I wouldn't say close attention, but like whenever I had time here at the house, I just put it on the iPad, had it streaming and stuff. I mainly watched whatever the top group was for that day. Didn't watch everybody, but yeah, no, not bad. What else did I do this weekend, man? Oh wait, no, you know what? I was busy basically helping a couple people with some things, taking photos, fixing
Right.
ACs, some other stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and like I said, like everyone kind of knows, I met a couple guys in Kansas City. There's like four of us. We just met there, and yesterday we really channeled our inner like white sorority girl. It felt like we started the day off with brunch. We went to like this like local coffee shop and all got some iced coffees.
Oh, no.
And then we walked next door to the Lululemon. And we did some shopping, and yeah, I was living my best life yesterday,
Okay.
But now we're back to just regular old small town Kansas, and here we are.
Yo, give it here.
Yeah, what do you want?
I need your man card.
Okay, let me 1 second. Sorry
No,
about
just
that.
playing. No, because what you said basically sounds like like another typical day
I
for
mean,
Jeremy.
I'm about to say that sounds like a normal day for you. That's yeah. Look what you're drinking right now. All right. All right. So let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and hop into our usual start to the stream. Let's check out the market. It's not a great day for the market if you've spent any amount of time online today and looking at charts, looking at prices, looking at Twitter. You already know it's not looking the best, but we're still vibing and we're here. And like you said, market's gonna market. So whether you like it or not, I would say I guess this was kind of expected. You had the tax show on Friday, and then this week's
my
kind
fault. My
of
fault.
this is tax week. Everyone's kind of like, this is the week that it's like it's tax days this week. It's kind of the deadline. People put it off, so I'm really not surprised seeing a lot of red across the board. Seeing seeing crypto go down, seeing NFT prices go down. It's just I kind of expected it this week, right? I think we're due for it. So I'll take all this red with a grain of salt, and I'm going to channel my inner hopium and just think like, after this week, we're going to go back to up only. And here we go. Right.
Up only.
Up only. But all right, so let's look at what's up. And whenever I went and looked at this earlier, I didn't write any gainers. I put like NA because there's like, I generally look for 10% or more whenever there's like a big change, and out of those projects there's just nothing of interest, nothing that we're actually like invested in or people would know about, right? Like I know they had the DGens and regions thing over the weekend and they've kind of received that pump, but outside of that there's not a lot here, right? Unless I'm just not looking, unless I'm missing something.
In terms of like bigger projects or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, which
Hype bears,
yeah.
I mean,
Hey, don't call it a comeback. Get your rally caps on for the hype bears.
nah, but yeah, you can see even the good is not that good.
Yeah.
Look at all these floor, like the actual floor prices. The largest one you even see on the screen is at the very, very bottom. Put your big ones too. Other than that,
Yeah.
0.72. So these are all like low cap projects.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we're not seeing a lot of movement from big projects. If anything, that their
so
movements on the flip side. So let's just go and skip over the green and let's go right to the red, and let's look at the losers for the last 24 hours. And it looks like at number 4, we got Crypto Morris. They're down 30%. They've kind of had like a little pump over the weekend, I think, or last week, and they've come back down. But we're just seeing a lot of bigger projects on this than we are in green, right? We got Alien Friends sitting up here. We got the Neo Tokyos, the Boss Beauties, the Goops that had like a big run last week. They're back down. Onis are, Onis are forever red. It's it's a lot of bigger projects. Yeah, like you said, Boss Beauties, Winter Bears, and lots of red. But like we said, this was kind of expected this week, so I'm kind of taking it with a grain of salt. I'm not really. I'm not shaking in my boots or anything. I'm just like, hey, here we are. Maybe it's a good week. Maybe it's a good week to take a break, right? Go outside, walk away from the computer, do stuff around the house, catch up on chores, do some shopping. Go to Lululemon. Go get you a craft coffee and walk across the Lululemon, and you can join me in that, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we're kind of joking about it, kind of being lighthearted. But I mean, I'd say, like, seriously, like, don't pay attention to this week. Don't pay attention to Monday. Don't pay attention to all of this red. Don't make any rash decisions. Everything's gonna be all right. So
yeah, BitchTalk does have a good. I mean, hey, it's WETH offer. It's not tax week. It's WETH offer week, right? It's both ways. We're gonna see a bunch of WETH offers taken, but I mean, I guess if there's projects that you're bullish on that you think are gonna recover, if you got some of that WETH, send those offers out, because you may get some taken, and you'll be able to pick some projects up from beneath the floor, just because people will see the red and they get spooked and they want to get out.
Yep.
So definitely a good spot if you are looking to buy and you're bullish on a project.
It's kind of why I wore this shirt today. It's a red day.
It's a red day. There you go. Fits right in. Let's see. Before we kind of move on to more of the actual news, any final thoughts before the market about the market? Just in general. Nothing too exciting, right?
Yeah, nothing too exciting. I mean, obviously it's just a bad day overall, but I don't know if it's directly related to taxes. I could say probably a good portion of it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think, hey, we had a couple good weeks in a row, maybe like 10 days or so.
Yep.
For the most part. And then it's just, hey, what goes up must come down, and so.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it looks like with everything, like all these top projects, like if we sort by floor price, most of the top projects are red, except it looks like people are expecting something to come, right? Mm-hmm. Like from Bored Apes, like that's basically the only projects up here besides NFT Worlds, which I kind of put that with a grain of salt as well, because a lot of those are being staked, and it's different than a lot of these other projects, but yeah, everything's red except Yuga Labs, right? Except the Bored Apes, except the Mutant Apes, and I think a lot of that to do is because we're expecting the other side land drop. We're expecting something here pretty soon, and people are kind of holding onto those assets tightly.
Yeah, I mean, like Dorian Pitch were pointing out, people are basically holding on to their money at the moment.
Yeah.
And the reason I feel like confident in saying that is, out of a lot of the people that we talk to, we know people are like trying to stack ETH right now, trying to get in for the big drops. Happening in April, including the other side, Moonbirds, and a couple others where they just need a lot of ETH. So
yeah, I am curious to see, because I think on Wednesday we find out the results of the Moonbirds raffle. So
sorry, one cut you off real quick, because it was initially Wednesday.
Oh,
but I
gotcha.
I think that they updated it to Friday because they're gonna take a huge look, major look, try to get rid of all the bots and.
All of your entries. So all your 50 plus entries are going to go down to a couple now. That's unfortunate for you. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious to see what happens after those results come out. If we do see some more of that ETH, people are holding on to it now. If they realize they don't win, now it comes back into the market. Or if they see it's red, if they just hold on to it. So that's going to be one of the trends I'm going to be trying to pay close attention to this week. And then. Yeah. So speaking of, the Bored Apes, Yuga Labs, there was a tweet that was sent out basically just before the show, and we don't have too many takes on it yet, because it literally just was sent out like an hour ago, and we haven't really had time to dissect it. But the Coinbase main account this isn't even the Coinbase NFT account. This is Coinbase at Coinbase, right? They tweeted out this picture that said something is coming. Probably nothing, right? If you look closer,
Something.
you look at the tags. They've tagged Bored Ape Yacht Club. They've tagged ApeCoin, and then they've tagged their other accounts. So they've only tagged Yuga Labs projects in here with the ApeCoin and Bored Ape Yacht Club. So
But they didn't tag Punks.
they didn't tag Punks or Meebits. They didn't tag
No Animoca.
no Animoca. So something is coming. We just don't know what, right? And now's the time. We've already seen this quotes. This tweet's picked up traction. It's already spreading everyone. It's spreading everywhere. Everyone's got their speculation. It's good. We're gonna be hearing about this the rest of the day, the next couple days of, hey, what does this mean? And people are gonna be breaking it down. They're gonna be zooming in on the picture. Well, this represents this, and this could mean this, and we're gonna see the crazy. We're gonna see the conspiracy theories come out. But whenever you first thought of that, what's your initial take?
So I see lines going across, parallel lines. There's two. So that means tire tracks.
Yep.
So I'm thinking racing game, and it's kind of retro vibe. So I think Bored Ape's coming out with their own gaming console. First game they're going to be released is going to be a racing game. And this is going to be powered by Ape Token. And Coinbase users get alpha access. Yeah, I mean, you heard it first. Oh, and the pink, they intentionally put pink in here. And if you look on the tower where the pink is, you can actually make the other tower. You can actually make a P out of this, and you think pink P, and so my head goes to Paris Hilton. So I think Paris Hilton is going to break this news, and it's going to be a Bored Ape gaming console with the racing game coming out, powered by Ape Token. Coinbase users get alpha access.
I really hope you're working on your 10.3 your 10-part thread on this theory, because I think we need that, and I think that's the best theory I've heard so far, and I think you're spot on. I think that's absolutely what we're going to see. So yeah, I'm ready to see the speculation. I don't know if I think some we were talking to Kaz in the Discord earlier. He said a lot. He's already seeing speculation of basically the other side land's gonna be launched on Coinbase, or maybe there's a particular thing where you pay on Coinbase, maybe the merch was the test for using the Coinbase checkout, and then the other side is the actual the main event of using that. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens, but yeah, obviously something is coming with Coinbase and Yuga Labs. We're not gonna speculate too much because it's just released. We don't know, and I couldn't even begin to. I couldn't have a legit guess right now.
They I mean, this doesn't add anything, but the website for Animoca or for other side was something is brewing, right? And then I know something is coming is pretty common, but something is coming, something is brewing. Are they distinguishing that on purpose? Because they could have put something is brewing here too. Yeah, they're keeping it separate for some reason. So
yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't use the same words as that website. If it was going to be partnered, I would have expected it to be something similar, but maybe not.
That's why I'm thinking this doesn't really have anything to do with the land sale with the other side.
You know what? Just because they tag, just because they tag Bored Ape doesn't mean there's a partnership. This is just Coinbase engagement farming right now, right? Building a pipe for their own project. Yeah. It could be absolutely, literally nothing, and then they're just engagement farming by tagging Bored Apes and letting people speculate like crazy.
The other thing that I could just think of, a legit guess, and I don't know why Coinbase would do this necessarily, but just besides marketing and capturing users, is if they offered Yuga Labs a zero fee marketplace for Bored Apes and mutants and dogs.
Yeah.
So that way Bored Apes doesn't have to build it themselves, kind of like Punks did, right? Punks had their own marketplace. So maybe Coinbase is hosting that for them.
Yeah, I guess on face value, I would assume it is something with the other side, because you look at the background, it's like a city, it's like a metaverse or a city or something going on. But I kind of hope not. I hope we're not. I hope they're not launching it on Coinbase unless it's something we've never seen before and it's actually a good experience. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on this, chat? Do you guys have any theories on what this means, what this tweet means?
Yeah, I'd like to hear what the chat thinks about that tweet. I mean, obviously there's not a lot to it. Kind of retro, Miami Vice, 8-bit, 16-bit graphics. Yeah, I don't know what we can take out from that. But one quick thing on the Moonbirds, by the way, is the official time is Friday, April 15th, 9 a.m. Pacific. That is when you will know if you won.
Okay. I missed that update. That's good to know.
And then I don't know. I don't see anything coming in from chat, but they must be shook.
They must be shook, or they got their magnifying glasses out. They're breaking down this picture, trying to get their own theories out there, or they just agree with yours and they just say that they can't top it, and they're waiting for your thread so they can retweet
Video
it.
game console. Yep. I know Telsty's out there doing something. He's probably flipping the image upside down. No cap.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. So over the weekend we had a fun little competition for our viewers. We had a masters pool. Basically, anyone who subscribes to us is able to fill out a team, get some, pay attention to some of the golf, and we had our top 3 prizes paid out. So we just kind of want to break that down real quick. So we've got, first place, and this is not rigged, I promise, not rigged at all, but we had Jeremy's sister. Your sister actually took home first, and she got the WoW Galaxy, which we transferred to her this morning. So she was the only, and I'm gonna say, on Wednesday, whenever we were talking about this whole pool, this whole format that this website has, I said the way to do this is don't worry about looking at the winner, but worry about getting people that can make the cut, because if you can get all 6 people to make the cut, then you're in a good position. And guess what? There was only one person that had all 6 golfers make the cut, and it was Jeremy's sister. So shout out to her. She nailed it with just picking people that made the cut, hung in there. Shane Lowry led the way for her, and yeah.
He said even McDonald's does that. Family members can't participate.
Well,
are you or a family member? Employed by whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, but Pitch Talk, the rules are different on Web 3, I think, right? McDonald's is stuck in Web 2. We're not going to exclude family members. We did exclude ourselves. I know we both filled out things, but if we would have won, we would have just ignored ourselves. And then we had King Edgar D. He won the Robotos by taking home second. He had basically first and second were pretty secured on Sunday. It was pretty much done. And then the real fight was for third place. And Vibers Anonymous, which is Chili, our very own Chili brother. He took that home. A birdie on 18 by Shane Lowry put him in third, which it wouldn't have mattered because Scotty ended up 4-putting on hole 18 for a double bogey, so that would have dropped him out anyways. But yeah, Chili took third place and basically came down to the last 2 holes. So that was kind of fun to keep track of, and Chili got that mint pass from Pixel Vault, the sidekick mint pass. So that was fun. We had about 50 entries in all. GG's to our top 3 winners. I'm gonna be looking at trying to find different ways. This is kind of a fun way to keep track of. I'm not gonna promise these type of prizes every single time. We kind of I'm a big Masters person, big golf person, so I kind of wanted to go a little bit all out, make it fun, make it worth it.
Yo, can we get some diamond hands emojis in the chat real quick? Some GGs.
Yeah,
Give it
GGs
up for the top 3 winners. Jeremy's sister, King Edgar, and then Chili. And then let's take a look at the other side. Take a look at the bottle.
Oh, let's take a look at the bottle. I don't think you should probably close your eyes right now. So we've got
Ash. That's Harry's.
We got Ash, and we got our very own mod Mtoli. This is how you know it's not rigged. We didn't give any inside information to our own mod. So Mtoli, he had. Paul Casey didn't even play a single round, single hole for me. Mtoli was out on date before it even started because Paul Casey withdrew and he got 80s across the board from him. And then, oh man, and it hurts seeing Matthew Wolf down there because that's my boy from Oklahoma State, and I love Matt, I love Wolf, but it was not his weekend. Matt Wolf shot higher than the default the score they give someone for missing a round, which is that's kind of tough.
that's bad.
That's big stuff. But I think
maybe
you and I
forgot to tell him Tolly, because he's from Denmark, right? So we forgot to tell him Tolly that in golf you want the lower score.
Oh, that's true. We did forget to say that.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot it's opposite over there. Was looking for both of us. Yo, Jeremy came in a solid 40th. GG's to you.
40.
And then I don't even know where I finished up at. There we go, 24th. Matthew Wolf, again, not great for me. Kepka, not great, but outside of that, not bad.
Wait, did I get screwed by Louis? Who did I have?
Let's see. You got screwed by Louis and Justin. Yeah, Louis played one round and then withdrew, and then Justin Rose didn't make the cut.
Yeah, obviously Louis, a withdrawal, and then Justin Rose just played terrible.
Yeah,
all weekend.
Sometimes it's not your weekend, and that was him. So
that's unacceptable. He should retire.
Yeah. So we're gonna get plenty. Let's go ahead and just get one more time exclamation point rigged in the chat, because obviously Jeremy's sister was completely rigged, but she earned it. She knows her golf. Give her that. She knows her golf. She showed it. She took home the prize, and she earned that. She earned that WoW G. I'm glad she won the WoW Galaxy. She said that she missed the mint and she missed out on it. So I'm glad that this kind of gave her an opportunity to get into WoW Galaxy, because it's one. I know it's a project that you and I believe in.
I think she came in, man. I can't say shortly. I don't know how much time it was until World of Women, the first gen, was a little bit over an ETH or so.
Yep.
Maybe almost touching 2, but I think it was just over an ETH. And that's when she started to get into NFTs, and she was like, I wish I would have been here for the World of Women mint. And she was been trying to work her way up to that ETH for the World of Women, but then obviously they just ran away. And then, up to 8, 10, 12, whatever it may be. So this was pretty cool to kind of see that, almost kind of come full circle, where now, she finally gets to be a part of World of Women. So that was pretty neat. And also to just see it go to a real golfer, like she watches golf all the time. She plays golf all the time. Even with 3 children, her and her husband make time to go out there to the course and get some rounds in. So it's just nice to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna be down in I'll be down in Dallas in June with my clubs. Maybe I can get with Jeremy, with your family. We all just go get some golfing together.
Yes, sir. Either down home or up here, because we got plenty of courses either way.
Oh yeah. All right, so moving on. Our next kind of topic. We had a lot of there's two good and bad views of this going on over the weekend. So we've got NFTs coming into restaurants pretty heavily, and this weekend we saw the good and we saw the bad. So let's kind of break down both. What do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about the good first? Like you want to just start with the good vibes, or do you want to start with the bad? You let me know.
No, we got to go good first, because we might have to talk about the bad for a little bit.
All right, let's talk. The bad hits home close to our stream too, which is unfortunate. But all right, so the good. So we had Bored and Hungry. It's this restaurant that opened in California. No food NFT. TrueCon. I know TrueCon was there with me. We're gonna get to it, TrueCon. Trust me. But let's talk about the good first. We're vibing. We got good vibes. So Bored and Hungry opened over the weekend. They had their grand opening, and it's basically this Bored Ape, Mutant Ape themed restaurant where they just have burgers and fries. Just like a classic burger joint, except it was themed around apes. Like, look at the inside of this. Like, this looks pretty nice, right? It looks well done. It looks looks like they took some inspiration from the bar. You could tell from from the walls. They had like there's a fast food mutant there. They have their Bored Ape on top as like the logo on the outside. This is their Twitter, but they have like a night mode.
Love the LEDs around the doors.
It looks so cool. But they opened they had their grand opening over the weekend, and they had payment options. They're not taking cash, but you could pay in ApeCoin, you could pay in ETH, or you could just pay regular debit and credit. But that's kind of cool. Like, this restaurant opened and they're already accepting ApeCoin. Hopefully, it was a different way than the main net. Otherwise, you're paying gas that costs the same amount as your food. I'm not sure I'm not sure their payment process system how it worked.
And it's hard to verify. I would have like a third party verify like who's the first restaurant to accept ETH and Ape, because I'm sure like
Yeah.
Some DJ out there who owns a restaurant already did, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm sure people have accepted ETH before, but maybe they're the first one to officially accept like ApeCoin, like and like target it. But yeah, this is they had they opened on the 9th. They had a long line coming out. Let's see. That's what the outside looks like. And then they have this thing that if you're a verified Bored Ape, you get a free combo meal. If you're a verified mutant, you got just a free burger. And then if you're just a normal pleb, you got to pay full price, right?
Yep.
And then yeah, it's just kind of it was fun following. Like I wasn't tracking very much from with me being kind of out for the weekend, but I was tracking this because it was just fun to live through the grand opening through Twitter and just kind of track it, watch the Twitter, watch a lot of people that we know in the community were out there supporting them. Like, look how long this line is. Like that line's insane, right?
That looked like never mind, I'm not gonna say it. Anyways, that looked like some of the barbecue joints around here.
Yeah, it looks like yeah, absolutely. It looks like Ape Fest line, right? It looks like from November we saw this a lot. They had a DJ out there, and then my favorite.
The work uniforms.
Yeah, it's the same shirt as their ape, which is really cool.
Yeah,
I like that they have that. And then we've got look, even their packaging. It's like the packaging is all like such rather apes. Like it's just I love seeing people actually take we keep hearing the buzzwords of like, oh, you own the IP, you own commercial rights. Like, well, this person actually took it and they actually used it, right? They're actually using it in the way that it was meant to be used, rather than someone just saying they own it without doing anything.
Well, I would have went totally different with the branding. Like, so I would have made my ape maybe a part of a meal, a combo, maybe some interior decoration inside. But in terms of the overall branding of the business, honestly, that fried stuff and whatever else was just right there. That looks kind of trash.
Yeah.
Not the food itself, but the packaging. Like they could have, Bored and Hungry could be dope, but right now, to me, it's not. But the interior part and the whole business idea, that's dope.
Yeah, and shout out this guy right here. This guy, talk about a true degen, right? It's this man. This man saw the hype, basically found what was going on. He buys a mutant ape in front of everybody and gets a free burger. He buys a mutant on site. He's like, you know what? Yeah, let's go and send it on mutant. Give me that burger.
Yes,
that's absolute degen. That's crazy. That was fun to see.
One of the most expensive burgers ever bought.
Absolutely. Hopefully it's a lifetime supply. People are already trying to resell, like the Bored and Hungry packaging and stuff they got for free for being there on the opening day. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's we saw this happen over the weekend. They got tons of feedback. They got tons of good feedback. Tons of people showed up and support them, and it was fun to follow. And this is the good side of NFTs a restaurant, right? It was some good vibes. It was just it made me want to be there, right? I wanted to fly out and be part of the grand opening just by seeing it. So, did you have any thoughts on this? Did you follow it as closely as I did?
I did see the lead up to it. I didn't know that it was legit just called Bored and Hungry. I thought that was somebody's Twitter tag because I saw it on my timeline scrolling across. But I remember seeing a picture now of the interior, custom painted floor, the bar, walls, LED door frame and stuff. So all of that is dope. I just think overall, branding Bored and Hungry, pretty simple, too simple, kind of ass.
Okay.
But I think...
Hey, listen, let's see you do better. You know what? Ball's in your court. You called him out. Let's see your restaurant. I'll love to see
it. Absolutely. I probably do better in less than a day.
Okay. Hey, let's see it.
But, man, restaurant business is tough. I think they need something like this because you need that cultural... I don't know. I know a lot of friends who own restaurants or bars and whatnot, and it's a tough scene, man. So I don't know if I would get involved in the restaurant business in real life, totally. But in terms of the branding, yeah, absolutely. I think they got to do better.
All right, well, it's a hot take from Jeremy. We're trying to get some good vibes out here before we go into this the bad part of this, and chat doesn't like this. Call it Jeremy a hater.
Hey, Zach said let's see better.
He said that to you. Let's see you do better.
Let's
said that.
see better.
Yeah, he said that to you. Dorkgod got a good thing. Like, why wasn't the main ape a service ape, right? Like, let's get Dorkgod's ape out there, right? And,
yeah, bro, Dorkgod's ape would be all those service apes like that. That would be some heat. Like,
especially if they're taking ApeCoin. Dorkgod's ape has the service out for it, and it's got the ApeCoin eyes, right? Like, hey, we accept ApeCoin, and we're a service ape. Here we go. He's got the package. He's got the perfect ape for a restaurant. Like I said, I think I've said it before. I'm already trying to reach out to Jimmy John's and license my ape out to them because they got their freaky fast delivery. I'm a cheetah ape. There's something there. Jimmy John's, if you're listening, offer still on the table. We can make this work. Let me know. My people will talk to your people. All right. All right. So I think we've covered this enough. It's just fun to follow. I'm curious to see, maybe if we ever got to California, it's gonna be fun to stop by, right? And but let's talk about NFTs and restaurants. Something that happened over the weekend. Let's talk about the bad side. And this one hits close to home. I know TrueCon minted it. I minted it. I think maybe other people in our chat did as well, and the reason why this hits close to home is because this project was our very first project interview on our stream. And it is the very own, it's the Crypto Creams. It's
the Creamers.
It's the Creamers. So we had, if anyone remembers, this is like pretty early on. This is before we even had subscribers. This was maybe 2 months ago or so. We had, Crypto Creams. We had Simino on our stream.
Calling.
We had he came on our stream, pitched the project. We had an interview with him. It was a pretty good interview. Project looked good. The ice cream looked fantastic. I remember it was pretty. We got pretty good feedback. A lot of our followers, jumped in their Discord, kind of followed the project along, and they minted over the weekend. Well, they started to mint over the weekend.
Like 3 or 4 times though, right?
Yeah, they definitely delayed. But before we break into the details, I just want to know: were you following? I know you were kind of away from things as well this weekend. Were you following this closely, or did you kind of have to catch up after the fact?
I caught up last night. And I felt like that was a good time because if I would have been updated like in real time, it would have seemed a lot worse than what it turned out to be. But when you're in it, it's like, like this is hilarious. This is like meme worthy, and like, full rug, whatever. But since I caught up last night, I was able to see like that whole picture from Friday all the way to Sunday.
Yeah, we saw. Yeah, looking back at it now or last night, you were able to zoom out a little bit more and see, where some of the truth is. You see both sides a little bit better because at the time, for people that don't know, Crypto Cream started minting on Saturday afternoon, and almost immediately it was like shut down. Pretty much. So the very first thing that happened was they started minting, and then we had this Twitter post, or not Twitter, this Instagram post from Milky Treats Ice Cream, which is the ice cream shop that Crypto Creams was partnering with. Right? It was the same thing. We had this Instagram post from them saying, "Hey, we're decided to postpone the minting." And they had concerns over the developers and the Discord project manager talking about Simino. And then there was, lack of communication. They're not affiliated. They don't have, they're not affiliated with it anymore. They just basically cut ties mid-mint. And this is after they've already minted out, I think, like close to 30 ETH worth of NFTs, right? This happened, and it was just kind of, it's just this real time thing, and it was weird to me because I guess for some reason I thought that Simino was like part of the ownership team over Milky Treats. I didn't realize he was just. I guess that's on me. I didn't realize he was just like a normal employee with them.
I think he's some type of. He was like one of their senior employees. Like I don't know if he's necessarily title manager, but he oversaw the store for them.
Yeah. So I found out later because I joined I joined Milky Treats Discord as well. So there's 2 Crypto Creams Discord. One is the official one, and one is the old one that doesn't have permission to be Crypto Creams anymore, pretty much. But that's the one that's still the larger Discord. But yeah, I was reading some more comments from the owners. They were saying that Semino's been one of their employees since he was 16 years old. He's currently 19 years old. He's been fired from them before, but then was brought back. So, and this is the person that they kind of they've trusted to run the NFT. I guess Semino came to them with like this whole thing to start off with, right? Like it was his idea, and he helped them, and we'll give him credit. Like Semino, he did a good job marketing, right? He made this Crypto Cribs brand from Dallas, from this one part of the world. People in New York, people overseas knew about it, and they were hyped about it. There's over 13,000 people in the Discord ready to go, and so he did a good job marketing it. But what it came down to is once they started minting, it seems like that they didn't agree on they didn't agree on the splits, right? And it sounds like Semino changed the contract kind of at the last minute or mid mint. So what ended up being, let me get the numbers here. So what ended up, according to the owners, the split that the contract started doing, once they saw them and they caught wind of it, they noticed 65% of the sale proceeds were going directly to Semino's wallet, and then 3% of the royalties were set to go to him as well. And then the owners of Milky Treats said that was basically set without their consent, right? And that only left them like 25%, and they're one of the main ones for fulfilling a lot of the roadmap, because a lot of the roadmap was a lot of things with the physical store, like free ice cream, free delivery. They could deliver ice cream free to anyone in the world if you own an NFT, and they only were getting 25%. So it wasn't what they had agreed on previously, from what it sounds like. So they pulled the plug and kind of backed out. And if you were in the Crypto Cribs Discord, it was basically it was a lot of he said she said. Like they kicked they kicked Nico and Carmen out of the Discord, or they left and they had their own Discord, and there was just like a lot of back and forth. All of the announcements in the Crypto Cribs Discord of them like putting the blame on Nico and Carmen was kind of deleted, and it's just it just feels like it was just huge miscommunication. And it was just, I don't know. It was weird to follow, and I don't know if there's any one person that's to blame. It seems like they kind of are both to blame, right? I mean, I don't know what your take on it is. Sounds like you were able to catch up last night. So what was your final take?
Basically, I don't know. As the owners of an IRA business, and if you're aware that you're releasing an NFT project, even if you're not hands-on with it, like you should at least be informed enough to know the schedule, right? The planning, the project planning of it, even if you're not doing the work.
Yep.
The potential incoming revenue, the taxes you're gonna owe on that, how it's gonna be split up, right? And then the promises that you're making to customers, because that probably has some, or it should have some legal, I don't know what you call it, ramifications, other things like legally binding stuff, disclaimers. You should be aware of all of that. You should have your legal team, your team of lawyers look at that. So you should be aware, even if you're not doing the work. And for it to go all the way up to mint date, and there still be some, or it not be clear, for there to be some fogginess, I think that's like pretty unacceptable regarding the owner's involvement. So I mean, they probably don't even deserve it to be deserve the project in the first place. So
yeah, it just seems poorly managed. It seems like they just put a lot of trust into like a young kid, and they didn't have good communication between them. And
it may seem like they were trying to expect some, a little bag as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was for themselves or for the business, but to promise, free ice cream, blah blah blah, however long, or however often for however long. And they're like, oh yeah, we can make money from this, sure, like we'll give you permission to do it. Just let us know when to send you our bank account.
I mean, there was a time like on Saturday night, like no one could get a hold of Semino, like he wasn't even like found in the Discord, and then like the owners were saying they couldn't get a hold of him, and then we were hearing from Semino later on that he was trying to get a hold of him, they couldn't get a hold of each other. Like it was just it was really like following it live Saturday. Like I kept changing, like, oh man, this is all the owner's fault, this is all Semino's fault, this is all, I kept going back and forth. Like it was just nothing was clear, right? Luckily, I mean, now looks like they were able to communicate and get things figured out, because as Trucon said in the chat already, they finally came to an agreement. They got the funds all collected, and they were able to basically refund everybody that minted, right? So I guess it was a rug, but then a rug that ended up refunding, and now we just have NFTs in our wallet that are just, hey, commemorative pieces of, hey, you minted this, but you got refunded at least. And yeah, it was so strange. I'm glad they were able to come to an agreement. I'm glad they were able to refund everybody that minted, since they stopped the project. And I'm curious to see where this goes moving forward, because I know that the art is kind of already done for it, but the art is owned by the owners of Milky Treats. So I wonder where that leaves Semino. It's interesting, but one part I wanted to talk about as well is, whenever you attach this real life brick and mortar location to an NFT project and it goes south, some of the ramifications you face are Google reviews. And
that's tough.
And so let's look at some of these reviews together. This is I woke up this morning and just randomly was like, you know what? I feel like I should check the reviews for Milky Truth. I wonder if people actually left bad reviews because of this situation. So if we look, this starts from 4 weeks ago, and everything's fine. Everything's normal. 5 stars across the board, and then all of a sudden, 2 days ago, 1 star. Right? It's like, all right, here we go. Let's get the popcorn out.
Hey, it's Josie.
And then here we go. Milky Treats Company created an NFT project that turned out to be a cash grab scam. Refunds have not been offered. The company should be shut down and indicted on federal charges. This is on their actual review. Like, people that don't know what NFTs are looking at these reviews now. They're looking, hey, where should we get ice cream today? Let's Google this place. Let's look at the reviews. And they sort by recent. This is what they're actually seeing. It looks like their owners are responding to some of these now. I haven't seen that recently, or that's new from this morning.
Yeah, I want to see the response, but hey, they're still at 4.7 somehow. That's kind of impressive.
I mean, they got a ton of 5-star reviews. I mean, you were there. The ice cream was good, right? You've been there.
It was good, but I didn't leave no 5-star review. I was actually kind of
more of a 3-star. You could probably do better, right?
I left calling some feedback because it took me like an hour to get my ice cream, bro. But they said it was a bad day.
Yeah, Semino is the heart, brain, and lungs of crypto creams. Like, it's a lot of Semino truthers coming out to his defense and leaving these 1-star reviews. But then what's funny is after these 1-star reviews start piling on, you start getting a lot of 5-star reviews of like people combating the 1-stars. Like, hey, we're on this side of the battle, so they get a 5-star, and here's my comment of why. And it's just like, it basically become this comment section of Facebook of these battling comments, but it's in a review section of a business. Which, if you're just like some normal person in Dallas looking for ice cream on a Monday night, and you see this, like, that's kind of weird, right? And I may choose somewhere different because it just looks like something I don't want to get involved in.
To be honest, I look at overall stars, so I don't even know if I would even see the recent reviews like that.
Yeah, they even got a verified local guy to do a 1-star review and said thieves.
100 thieves? Yo.
4 stars. Hey, this is an honest. Look at this. This is probably the most honest review. Great ice cream. Not so much at managing NFT projects.
Hey.
4 stars.
Honest. Yep. That's a good review.
That's a review I trust right there. Like, hey, if you want good ice cream, go for it. Just don't buy the NFT. And I appreciate that. But it was so funny reading through all this, just seeing the 1-stars versus the 5-stars, and just going back at it. And it's so funny. Like, this is what happens in this is the risk to attaching like a brand, a real life business on an NFT project, because if it goes south, then now your brick and mortar business is going to receive some negative feedback because of that, and it could affect your actual business, right? It's not just this risk-free, like, oh, there's nothing to lose, let's go ahead and try an NFT project, see how it works out. Like, there are ramifications if it doesn't go well.
I think when you're small, it does. When you're too big, when you're big, it just kind of gets swept under the rug. I mean, you talk about what was it, Nintendo or GameStop or of course some other ones that have kind of come out with coins or NFTs. Just trying to think, but if you're big,
Twitter.
because that was a single location, right? So everything gets funneled down to that one Google review. But if it was like a chain, if it was spread out, then where are they going to leave reviews, right? It's going to be all, you're not going to notice it. So
yeah, Pitch Dark's got a good one. The Pepsi mic drop, right?
Yeah, Pepsi.
The Pepsi mic drop. There is nothing's. Yeah, no real big ramifications for that. So yeah, I guess it does hit this. If you are a small business, we talked about it a little bit on whenever we were originally talking about this. Is like, hey, I guess you better make sure it is done correctly if you're small, because you do have more to lose than someone else.
Yeah, or I don't know. Just have. I think when you're doing an NFT project, you should plan for if everything goes well, and then also plan if stuff doesn't go so well. If you don't mint out, if you do have, I don't know, tech issues, if you have some type of scam issues, like how are you going to host the wallet where the fund's going to be? And do multi-sig, who's going to be a part of the multi-sig? Like, there's so many things that you should think of other than just the best path.
Right. Yeah. So that it was fun to track both. Like I said, this weekend we saw the good and the bad of NFTs in restaurants with Bored and Hungry, and then with Crypto Creams and Milky Treats. So it was kind of funny seeing the pros and cons of both. And
Caught in 4K.
Caught in 4K. There it is. We'll see how it pans out for them. Any final thoughts on either of these?
Yeah, I have to get the little Gokina screenshot. Good luck to Bored and Hungry. I do think, like you said, if we're in the area, love to stop by.
Hey, maybe you can franchise a location out in Dallas and use your ape.
Yo, apes. I still think apes should be tied to something on the menu, like not the entire brand, or if they are the entire brand, like not used as is, because you could change the shirt to represent your brand. You can change and whatever, but yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think you see board coffee companies, board brewing companies, what else? Board rolling papers, like what else are people doing with their board apes? All of that is dope, man. I think that is the stuff. For as much as Yuga is doing and Bored Apes are doing, like when you see that cultural movement, when it's from the grassroots, when it's from your holders and supporters, and you see them doing things like that, that's what's gonna take it to being like a mainstay brand.
Yeah,
to be honest.
You got the music groups, right?
Yeah,
like those are that may be the
productions.
Best. Yeah, like that may be the best use case of someone using the IP right now, like to actually like make it huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for the innovation. I mean, I'm here for people doing that and hey, using those IP rights. So, all right. So moving on. Also on Saturday, we had another mint on Saturday. Pretty big artist minted another open edition. So we had Kaz. You can go and hit mute now. I know you're not a fan of this, but we had Drifter Shoots. He had his open edition first day out minted. Started minting on Saturday, ended yesterday. And he had 10,400 items minted in his open edition, and it was at a 0.2 mint price. Like, whew, that I think. I mean, you can't compare like a single photograph versus like an open edition, but it netted him quite a bit, right? And yeah, it's basically kind of celebrated like kind of celebrated the 1 year anniversary of his first day out of jail, right? He got out of jail this I think it was the 9th of last year on April, and so it was released on the 9th of this year in April, and it's kind of like this 1 year anniversary celebration of his first time out of jail. And this is it's a cool NFT that you can change it, right? It starts off as this photo, and I'm pretty sure you can go to a website, and then you can actually change it to this video of this is his like actual like footage of him on his first day out of like one of the things he did, just like dancing in the rain, just like, hey, this is freedom, right? He's free. And it's kind of like a cool video, and it's You can turn the picture into that and share that memory with them. And yeah, I think it's a pretty cool use case. Did you buy any of these? Were you paying attention to it at all?
I just want to say I remember my first day out, and I wish I would have came up with this idea because, then I could have made a bag. But yeah, anyways, or my second day out, I could have had a follow up to that. But yeah, I did end up minting these. I got about 5 of them.
Okay.
This was just like a speculative play. It wasn't so much, hey, flipping first day out or not. I was hoping, or am still hoping, that later on down the road he does like a bigger ecosystem project where these are part of that, where maybe these are some type of like mint pass or access pass to whatever he has. So that's why I minted it. And then also, I love the story. Obviously, I'm a photographer myself, so I really relate to him. And then I thought I've spent 1 ETH on a lot worse. So
true. Yeah, like I said, they minted at 2.2. Looks like they're at a 0.16 floor right now. So if you did miss the mint and this is interesting to you, then now's a good opportunity. You can get it under mint price right now. I think there's only there's quite a bit. There's like a few rows under mint price. So still a good opportunity to get some exposure to one of the more popular NFT artists that we have, and kind of that's been more relevant in the last year or so. So yeah, like we've had a lot of these bigger artists. Like we've had Fiwo, we've had now Drifter, we've got Micah Johnson with the Akutars coming out. Like a lot of these big artists are coming out with these bigger projects, and these open editions to have a smaller entry point for normal investors or normal collectors that are fans that were priced out previously. So I do like seeing that. But I just want to talk about that. I didn't buy any of these at mint. I saw how many were being minted, and I kind of thought if I wanted them, I'd probably be able to get them cheaper on the secondary. I didn't realize we were going to be free falling and the sky's falling and NFTs are dead today, so that kind of helps it even more. I may scoop up a couple of these today or tomorrow. I'm just going to probably keep a close eye to it. But we also had another mint over the weekend, and we had the Nifty Taylor mint. Did you mint any of these at all, or did you follow this?
No, I didn't make any Nifty Taylor. I just kind of thought it's easily replicated. Like there's nothing stopping pretty much any decent artist from the Bored Ape group, like a holder, from replicating the same thing at the same point. Like they're not too far ahead. They don't have like market share in terms of the revenue that they're already making. They're not so deep like into our pockets or anything that we do, where I felt like another project couldn't come out right now, and their branding isn't even too big to where like another project could do the same thing right now and be at the same point. So I love the idea, love the concept, love what he does, love the art style, but I just felt like you should try to be at a point in terms of market share or your following or something that you do that is really hard to replicate, and then you kind of come out with your project.
I think what they're doing is interesting. Like you can mint these derivatives by owning a pass, but I like the process. I guess maybe we differ in this opinion, but I like the process they did. Nifty Taylor got their kind of they got famous among the ape community around Christie's time or South.
But they're not famous though.
Well, they were very well known across they're famous among the ape community. Like people know, like, oh, this is happening. You want to change your ape to a suit? Go to niftytaylor.com and you can get your ape on a suit, or you get this hoodie on your hoodie on your ape, or whatever's going on. And they built the following with that.
Or like, oh, it's that one person or that one group that changes your ape's clothes. Like we don't even know the name.
I mean, people know about it. They're famous enough to sell out.
What is their following?
Enough to sell out. Let's see.
What is their following? Anybody can sell out these days.
Yeah, I mean, they're following.
It's been almost a year since Bored Apes have come out.
Right.
And how much following does Bored Ape have?
I think you're taking me saying they're famous way too literal.
No,
right?
that's what I'm saying. They're not famous.
Okay, you're taking it way too literal. Me saying they're famous, like obviously they're not famous. They're worldwide. Everyone knows who they are. They have a following among the ape community because people know who they are. They respect them.
They don't even have 10,000 followers to cover all of the board apes.
Okay, well they gave this service away for free for like 6 months, right? They built a following through that, and then now they built that following, and now they're taking a different way. This probably wasn't something they expected. So they're You're taking my words way too literally, saying they're famous.
I said I like what they do. Like they do what they do is quality. I like the art. Like I said, I just don't think that there's nothing stopping anybody from coming out and doing this right now. Like a brand could come out right now and probably catch up to them, is what I'm saying. So that's why I didn't mint. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I like what they're. I like it. I like the way they did it. I like the path they chose, and I guess we disagree on that. And I think I'm curious to see what chat says. Like, do you like the Nifty Taylor, their Genesis pass, what they're doing?
I don't think I haven't disagreed on anything yet. Like if you say the pass that they chose,
there's a lot of cap going on over there on Jeremy's side. You woke up. Bitch Truck said you woke up and chose violence. I think that's accurate.
No, I don't think I've disagreed yet. I'm just I was explaining like the reason that I didn't mint. So the path that they chose, we didn't even get to talk about that yet. In terms of the mint pass.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, that's dope, but that's just kind of like you're getting somebody's money up front and then letting them redeem it at a later time versus just minting in real time. Yeah. So that's not innovative either, right? So it's a cool path to choose. Definitely worked, but that's just like Top Shot too in terms of their trade tickets. Like they're getting your money today, which is like really good for business. So from their side, it's amazing. But they're getting your money today in order for you to spend it later on.
Yeah.
And that's why people have gift cards. I mean, hey, money in your pocket today is better than later on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's something different. I don't know. I guess I'm probably more. I don't even own any of these, but I'll defend them, and I think I like it. I guess I like it a lot more than you. But
there's nothing to defend them against. I literally didn't say anything. I haven't said anything bad about them. I just said the only reason that I didn't mint was that another project could come in and do what they've done today.
Yeah, but I guess my thing is like I see them like someone new could come in and do what they're doing, but that person hasn't been doing this service for free the last 6 months, right? Like I feel like they've already gained the trust in the community before they sold their project, and I guess that's my point. Like with the path that they got here, like they gave away the service. They had people know who they are. They're reputable because they've been doing this for free for people. They've been doing this pro bono, basically just taking donations, which I doubt people donated, but they've been doing something like this pro bono since Suit Up for Christie's, and they've been upgrading it, and it made a pretty seamless transaction, and now they kind of built a following enough where they can maybe make a project out of it. And that's something that a new project that comes in to do the same thing, they don't have that backing, they don't have that history, they don't have that trust built within the community. And that's where I come from with it.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like, do they need that though? Like, what if there's a Bored Ape owner out there right now? Just saying, like, what if there's a Bored Ape owner right now that owns like a, I don't know, designer clothing store or like handmade, like IRL. I think we've already actually seen that. I'm not sure if it was Bored Apes or somebody else, but what if they do that IRL, and what if they already have that following, that NFT support, and they release the same thing? So you're saying like this project deserves more credit because they did it for free for a little bit. Like if you're doing it for free, you might just be dumb. It's really kind, but from a business perspective, and like that's how I kind of think about it. Literally from a business perspective, because in NFT investing, like I'm always more conservative, and so I'm always thinking from both sides as a collector, investor, supporter, and then also from the business side, does it make sense for them, and where are they going to spend their money? Are they raising enough? And so just from that side, that business side, from a collector side, it's awesome. I've used them for my ape to customize it, but I had to ask BSB who it was. I was like, what are those two projects that like change your clothes?
I always forgot the website as well. It was always quick to find. But
I love what they do as a consumer. still just don't see anything innovative from the business standpoint. But I congratulate them on doing the mint pass and selling out.
Yeah, I guess now like they do have more funding, so I would be more apt to think that these people aren't just gonna take the money and run, and hopefully they use that money to build more and bring more value to those mint passes rather than just something that TrueCon can do for free in Photoshop or something, right? Or Hunter. I mean, so I am curious to see what they build from it and what they bring to it. And like I said, I don't own any right now, but I'll look into it. They've got, looks like the floor price is 0.25, and just for 2,500 items, so decent floor price. Yeah, I need to look a lot more into it more than I do now. I just know them from previously, just from them being Nifty Taylor, basically, right?
Yeah. And the other thing that we don't know, probably both of us, it's just speaking for you, is like maybe they have upcoming partners or partnerships that we don't know about.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's going to be unannounced too, or they can choose to have that unannounced, and then that's a way to reward the people who did mint. Is like, hey, we didn't mention this before, but we're partnered with A, B, and C, and they're coming out here with super hot fire, like material, marketing, whatnot, and then that would be something where they are kind of first to market with that,
right? And
that would be dope.
Yeah. Also, sorry if anyone who saw that. I didn't follow an 8 back, but we fixed it. I followed them back. I got caught in 4K on that one. Hopefully no one knows, but I just went ahead and called myself out for that one. That's on me. All right, and we're gonna follow them back. We're gonna follow them just because that was on me. But yeah, and I guess to your point too, like I do hope that someone does come and tries to do something similar, because that would put more pressure on them to provide more value and to be more unique and set them apart. Like I think that there's more, like the space is so big and so there's so a lot of creative people out there. There's more room for businesses like that or people like that to come in and basically push each other. And there's enough room in this space for more than one project than more than one project to succeed in that. I would think so.
This overall, it's good because this person, I don't know how he bought his ape. I don't know if he minted it. I don't know if he bought it secondary. Whatever way, like he was a part of this culture for a long time. I know it, the project itself has been existing for a while. So it's good to see people like from that NFT background who are culturally ingrained in here do well on their projects. Like, I'm not saying I hope the project failed. I'm literally just saying I didn't mint for XYZ reason. Just kind of like Shark Tank, like Mr. Wonderful. Like he's like, I love your business. I want to own all of it. And here's the deal. And they're like, no, I'm not going to do it. He's like, all right, well then you're dead to me.
You're dead to me. Sorry.
But hope all goes well. But whatever, you're dead to me.
Yeah, I didn't mint because I didn't really pay attention to anything over the weekend, so I missed the mint. I probably would have. I don't even know what these minted out for. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know Dort has. Yeah, he said he minted 7, and he's excited for them. So I'm not sure what they minted out for, but yeah, curious to see what they do. Any final thoughts on Nifty Taylor, or on Drifter, or on anything we've covered so far before we move into another big piece of news?
One big A+ is on the name, because they didn't attach themselves directly to the Bored Ape community, which is what some people would say probably what they should have done. But I love the play that they went with Nifty Taylor, because this opens up the door for them to now, especially with Capital. I mean, they can go and scale out to multiple collections.
Yeah,
and do
Clone
it with
X,
the right
Doodles,
technology.
Azukis. Come on out. Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like they kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Started out with the Bored Ape, started doing Bored Ape derivatives, and then now they have the name Nifty Taylor.
Yeah, Nifty Taylor's a good name, absolutely. So moving on to the big news. This kind of broke this morning. I think it broke this morning. But so Sony and Lego, they each invested $1 billion each, so $2 billion total into Epic Games. And if you read it a little bit down, it looks like, Epic said it plans to use the funding for expansion and basically including projects for the metaverse. So this is what we've been talking about, right? We've been talking about these big brands, these big gaming studios are going to be coming. They're like Sandbox, Decentraland. They're coming for you, right? Like this was bound to happen, and it looks like some of these big companies, Sony, Lego, these huge brands are placing their bets on these established gaming studios. So, what was your first reaction if you saw this break? Because 2 billion, that's no small amount. That is a huge amount, right?
The rich get richer.
Rich get richer, man. It's some things say the truth, right? Web 2, Web 3, it's always the same. Rich get richer.
Yeah,
But I think we need a rich get richer emote. I think that sounds like something we need.
This is a trifecta of like power players, though. You think of everybody involved in this: Epic, Sony, Lego. Like Lego's nothing to laugh at because they got money. But the thing when this is a double-edged sword because like if you don't mention metaverse, like, are you really doing anything? If you do mention metaverse, like it's just a buzzword. So like for these brands, there's no winning. Like they're gonna have to mention metaverse. However, whatever their intention behind using it was, we have no idea. But what I will say is that when you're that big of a company and IP and stuff, there's no way it's not like heavily centralized metaverse. These people aren't just gonna change overnight. And like Web3, yay, decentralization, no KYC, like that's not gonna happen. And even interoperability or like composability between different metaverses, like that's probably gonna be a pretty tight requirements in terms of who they partner with. Like maybe they partner with Other Side and Yuga Labs, but you're not gonna see I don't know, Robotos be able to enter their metaverse. You're not gonna be able to see a lot of the smaller projects.
Wait, you mean I can't use my Robotos in Fortnite now? It's like a new skin.
Yeah, so they're not gonna be preaching inclusiveness, and they're open to all communities. So will they probably introduce some cool things though, technology-wise? I would say, I'll bet my ape on it. Probably they're not gonna come out and just release a simple metaverse, log in, play with your friends, do a little quest. Like these people got not only the freaking bankroll, but there are some of the smartest guys in the world working for all of these companies. Guys, when I say guys, obviously guys and girls. It's just the smartest talent, behind their doors. So, in a way, I am excited to see it. Would I whale into something like that? I don't even know if they'll let me, but probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be interesting. I really would love to be a fly on the wall in like Sandbox and Decentraland offices or their meetings just to see what they're saying about this too. Like I wonder how worried they are, or if there's enough room for everybody. But my first thought was everyone keeps saying we're early. Let's hope Sandbox and Decentraland were early enough to get ahead because they need a head start on a big gaming company, big gaming studio because Epic will be able to put out 10 times better product or than any of these people can, quicker than any of them can, right? So hopefully let's see how big of a head start Sandbox, Decentraland, Voxel, whatever it is, let's see how big of a head start they got and how early they were. It's going to be interesting to see it shape out, but I'm excited for it. It's if me as a consumer, I think this is good for us as a consumer, right? And one thing as well is Epic Games, like the following that Epic has with Fortnite or other games they have, it's the following is so huge, and now that they introduce this new like bracket of people that start coming into our world, right? Or I don't know. It's gonna be interesting how it plays out. Were you putting a comment on there to talk about?
Just for people to read, and
Gotcha.
Screen was saying everybody keeps throwing money at metaverse while 90% still don't actually know what a metaverse is, right? Including ourselves. Like, what is it? What's possible? I don't know. How would these new companies change the metaverse landscape? And that's the thing. I don't think it's like a matter of if they will, but in which direction and in which type of innovation. So metaverse is still entirely absolutely early because you talk about like multiple mediums as well. Like you're gonna have metaverse on your phone, your computer, your VR, AR. Like almost anywhere you go, that will be like the real metaverses where you can kind of carry your identity and your activities and social aspects of what you do across different formats and mediums.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a ton of money, man. Like we talk about, and that's just from two players. Like they put 2 billion in.
2 billion together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2
one,
billion.
1 billion each.
And here we are, like going crazy. If a metaverse, brand new announced metaverse project raises like, I don't know, 7 mil or 70 mil,
Right.
And they may have no experience with metaverse. Maybe they have a touch of game development, maybe concept art, stuff like that. But then you ask, okay, what has Epic done? and then they just go,
Yeah. lay it out there. But it's funny because we just got, like, a month ago everyone was talking about Yuga raising money based off of 4 billion evaluation. Well, this was 2 billion. This was just still a drop in the bucket. Like, Epic is still evaluated at almost $32 billion. Like, that's still so much bigger than anything we've seen in this space before, right? It's like we can't compare this valuation and this amount of money to anything that we've seen yet in NFTs or our version of what the metaverse is or anything or these projects. And yeah, it's like you said, that's someone placing a really big bet on what they think, and they got smart people working over there, right? It's not, they're not just throwing around, just throw it around. Like that's a very tactical decision to throw that much money into that project or into that business.
Does just by the way, outside of this, does Dapper have any metaverse play yet? Dapper Labs?
No, I'm pretty sure Dapper's play is just to keep releasing drops and raking money without doing actual improvements.
Yeah.
So they just keep just 95% of the profit and don't even recycle it back in. But actually, I don't know if Dapper does or not. I don't know much about it.
I remember this time last year we were still hoping like the game would come out at the end of April.
Yeah, soon.
And it's
been
a year.
Oh my gosh! So what is that? What was that called again? Like Hard Court, or I forgot what it was called. But yeah, that's they may have something. I don't know if Flow could actually support some kind of like big metaverse, right? But we'll see.
Yeah, the last thing here is I think Sandbox and Decentraland and all those guys, they were shaking in their boots even when Other Side was announced.
Yeah.
Just because of the capital that they have and the following. Like, the amount of people who probably follow everything that Yuga does versus that interact with Sandbox on a monthly basis.
Right.
I mean, that would scare me if I were them. So hopefully they have something up their sleeves.
Yeah, and then Screen's got a lot of good comments here. This is kind of Screen's specialty, right? From what we see, he's like, even if they have something disruptive, like, do they have the infrastructure and knowledge to come up with something AAA while being financially efficient? Which I think the probable answer is no. Like, nothing compared to what Epic has, right? Like, they actually have that experience and the years and the money behind them. That's why I said, like, hopefully Sandbox and Decentraland, hopefully they were early enough. Because they need that head start. Because, yeah, and like you said, I'm sure they were worried about the other side, right? And that's not even counting something X times bigger.
And just a brief stat on the Drifter thing. He sold 10,351 copies for $6.8 million.
Oof.
15% goes to the Bail Project, which is a national nonprofit organization that pays bail for people in need.
Cool. Man, 6.8 million in a weekend. That's, man.
A little.
Yeah, he could do better.
Something.
I'm surprised. I'm really disappointed it wasn't 6.9 million, right? For the culture.
I mean, we didn't come this far just to come this far.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's kind of like the end of like the news section, right? And we have one little, I guess, like newer. It's not really a segment, but more of a discussion that we're gonna have, and we want the chat to help us out as well. But we want to talk about. I've got this makeshift. This looks like I've made it from like the 90s. I did a lot of black. This is my version of dark mode. because I couldn't find a dark mode version for sheets, so maybe I'm just way technically. Listen, this is not my specialty, all right. this is dark mode for tagline. I just fill it in black and with paint.
Oh, we need chili.
So we've got. I kind of wanted to talk about let's rank qualities of a successful project and how important they are to the project to succeed, right? So we've got all these different factors that go into a project. We have devs. How does the art look? Who are the holders? What influencers are involved? What's the roadmap? How is the midday? Is it well executed? Is there issues like crypto creams?
Where was this when we were talking about Nifty Taylor? This is literally what I was basically talking about, but in conversation form.
Yeah. We talk about this a lot. Like, I mean, how's the core team? How's the hype? Is it unique? And I kind of wanted us to talk about like, hey, let's break it down. And you and I are going to talk about it. Chat can, we want your input as well. But we want to kind of rank like what's the most important for a project to succeed, all the way down to what's the least important. And if I miss a quality or if I miss like a factor, let me know in the chat. I left space to add more. So if you could think of anything else, please let me know. We can add it and talk about it. But just going on based off of this, what would you say? I don't know if you want to start at the top or you want to start at the bottom, or if we want to break down each factor individually and then kind of place it somewhere where we think. But
let's touch on briefly like on each little quality here.
Okay.
So
let's start with devs.
Yeah, first of all, devs. So we've seen projects where maybe it's Russian devs pretending to be women. We've seen projects where they're a service house where this is literally where they say this is our bread and butter. You can hire us, you can contract us out, and we'll build your project. You have devs themselves, first party. I can just think of Prement, right? Like Prement they were the devs themselves.
Yeah.
And they released a project. Anything else you want to add on to that?
No, I mean I've seen a lot of successes where like projects, a lot of things that people say like, well, what have they done? Well, a lot of it comes down to maybe what the devs did. Like, I think about Azuki's. Like whenever people ask, like, what did Azuki's do? People say, well, they helped to introduce the ERC 721A contract in a good way for the NFT community, and that was something that the devs did. So that's a case of the devs bringing value to a project, right? But we've also seen the devs, have a we look at the let's look at the Vayner pass. Those devs had a complete crap contract with how all those failed transactions and everything, and they had to do this big refund, and it basically caused a FUD storm because it wasn't an optimal contract. And so you see the good and the bad of the devs, and that's all I would add from the devs. What about art? Like, what does something look like? And
okay, we touched on this a few times over the previous episodes in terms of, I was saying one of my mistakes was focusing on the art too much, but I really think this is kind of like a case-by-case basis. But if I had to average it out, it would seem like the art to me, well, obviously art in general is just subjective, but in terms of a project selling out, doing successful and whatnot, it really doesn't matter too much what the art looks like.
Yeah, I would agree, and totally. Let me just be. I don't think employee was following. Maybe I didn't explain. These on the right side, they're not ranked yet. This is just
unranked.
this is unranked. Once we rank them, we'll move them to this column. So nothing's ranked yet. We're just kind of talking about them before we start our ranking. Mm-hmm. But yeah, my first thought is like, we're not really here for the art, right? Like it's an added bonus if it looks cool. But I don't think most people are here for the art in particular. Holders. No. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, all things given the same though, between two projects and one has better art, then obviously like it's a good thing to have high quality, high marketability, because again, art's subjective, but when you can what is it? I don't know. Appeal to more people. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have that head start.
Yeah. Next one for holders, I would, what do your holders look like? Are they people that are gonna Are they, the quality of holders you have? Do you let anyone mint? Did it mint out and it's just bots and whales holding it that are dumping on people, or is it fairly distributed and it's diamond handed? Is it diamond handed? Are your holders gonna go to battle for you on Twitter? Are they or are they just minting it and moving on to the next thing and holding it in their wallet without actively participating in the community? Like, how important
Dapper
are the
Dinos.
holders? Yeah, Dapper Dinos. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I think this one can go either way. We've seen cases where holders increase value of a project or decrease it.
Yep. I don't have too much to say there besides, I mean, they do play a big part in the post-mint, secondary life cycle of your project.
Yeah. Influencers. It's kind of still like, basically, this kind of goes in hand with holders, but this is like a different, I guess, subset of holders. Like, basically, if someone has a large following on Twitter, obviously that's a bit more beneficial to your project than someone with like 35. Like, if M totally holds your project, like, it's not like, it's just like, a normal person. But if Punk 8052 has your project, he's tweeting about it, like, that's
we're talking.
Now I'm like, I'm gonna buy that. I think Punk 8052's got it instead of him totally, or you got Schiller tweeting about chum chums over there, right? You see all aspects of this. So how important is that influencer presence to a project? And we're gonna talk about that. Roadmap, how important is a roadmap? We see all different kinds of roadmaps. We see no roadmaps. We see the copy and paste roadmaps. How important is this to a project? I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yes, so influencers, first of all, I don't hate the word. I hate how it's kind of like used in the space, because in marketing, in the ad agency and all that stuff, you literally have qualifications for the influencer. It's a great way to sell your product business, or even services business, when you have referrals and you have people showing up saying, hey, this was awesome, blah, blah, blah. So influencers are a thing, but in the NFT scene, it's basically what bags do they hold and how many followers do they have?
Yeah.
Like nothing outside of that, because people who are new to space and even existing in space, they automatically lend them that credibility. Like, oh, they must know something. They must be good at this. They must be smart. They must know what they're doing. And that's not the case.
Yeah. Pitch Dark, I would say this is for a life of a project, not just a launch. That's why I've got Mint Day as part of like its own topic. Like, that would be like a launch. But I think we're talking about like maybe what this means for like a lifetime of a project. And going back to influencers, what's your definition of a quote unquote NFT influencer? I know we don't like it, but I think for me, I look at Twitter follower count. And I think the minimum I would put to call someone an influencer would be like 40,000 Twitter followers at least. Do you have a threshold?
Not so much a follower threshold, but it depends on the age of the account. But I'd say definitely like 15K and above. Okay. And then one that is promoting projects, whether it's they're trying to be transparent about it or honest about it or not. Like when they're sending out tweets like, hey, check this out, check out this upcoming mint, check out this interview, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like when they're involved in promoting and have like over 15,000 followers in the space, I feel like that's an influencer.
So someone that's like actively trying to actually influence people.
Yeah, if they have over 15,000 and they're just tweeting out like normal, like, hey, just whatever, traded this, just bought this, sold this, or this project looks good, this project looks like cheeks. That's not an influencer. Okay.
Roadmap, self-explanatory. Mint Day, what issues happen on Mint Day? Like, I go to Roboto's, right? Like, I think about Roboto's had a terrible Mint Day because the mint button on the website didn't work. So the only people that can mint were the people that knew how to mint through the contract. And that was early enough in NFTs where not a lot of people knew. So you had a lot of sour people after Mint Day that missed out, that they already had a bad lookout on Robotos. And there's a lot of, I think Mint Day is an important thing to execute, but it's also not like a detrimental thing. Like if it's like we've seen Robotos is still a successful project and they overcame a bad Mint Day. Do you have any thoughts on Mint Day or Roadmap?
I mean, also Gutter Cat, terrible Mint Day.
Gutter Cat.
Mint Day, I would say it has a a huge brief influence on your secondary market, obviously, in terms of panic or FOMO, either way. And then, but in terms of the longevity of the project, essentially almost nothing. Like, you never remember that.
Yeah. We got core team. How important is the core team to, this may be the devs aren't actually part of the team. Like, this is the team that actually is going to oversee the project day by day. Because sometimes people just outsource devs, right? But they're not part of the core team that's there in the Discord, running the project, taking the direction in different ways. So how strong is that core team? What does that play a factor in?
Yeah, because we have anonymous teams, we have pseudo-anonymous teams,
Yep.
and then we have docs teams. And then we have teams that say they, have experience. We have to take their word for it. Or you don't have to, but I'm saying just given we take their word for it. Or they can say, like, we have no idea what we're doing. We just found ourselves in this position. A lot of you vibe with us, so we're going to release the project. You've been asking for it. Versus, the size of the team. Is it one person, 3 people, 20 people? What are their backgrounds? Is it Netflix, Apple? Is it Best Buy? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of this is where I see a huge amount of variety in terms of the NFT projects that I myself have invested in over the last year. But I've kind of got more picky as time goes on, just because we kind of find ourselves in that space where we don't necessarily have to take as much risk now, so you can afford to be more picky.
Yep.
But yeah, the core team, I think it's hugely important.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we've got hype, and I guess this maybe could be broken down into to 2 separate categories, like a pre-mint hype, and then like can it maintain the hype down the line? Because like a pre-mint hype is different than, like Bored Apes have hype right now. That's just because how relevant they are. But pre-mint, it took them 2 or 3 days. It took them days to sell out, right? They didn't have the hype going into it. So, but Mechaverse, they had that huge hype going into it, and now there's no hype at all. So, I guess just in general, like how important is hype for a project? And like I said, it could be broken down into 2 different categories. At least how I view it. And I kind of see it both ways.
This is another one where I feel like it's highly influential, but for longevity, very low priority.
Yep.
Because we've seen projects with a lot of hype be successful. We've seen projects with a lot of hype pull the rug right from under you. So it's good to have if you're like an instant flipper, I guess. And so as we rank these things, this isn't like an end all be all. Depends on the project, depends on all these qualities, depends on you actually, like as a trader. What's your archetype? Are you a long holder, a short-term holder, insta flipper?
Yep. Yeah. And then we've got uniqueness. Is it another ape project? Is it another cat project? Is it just a derivative? Is it a copy and paste token project, or is it something unique? Like, is it like how important is it being different from something we've seen before? And I would rank this one probably decently high for me. But anything to add for uniqueness before we get into the actual grit of the ranking?
Uniqueness, again, just even from my comments earlier, it's a thing that I look for in terms of if I put my money into it, and then how much money I put into it. But at the same time, it's kind of being understanding that because we've done all this in less than the span of a year, like how much innovation can truly happen in that time. It's a short time and a long time, but understanding that things aren't going to change too rapidly. So projects are going to differ, and they're going to get that uniqueness maybe like in small ways. And it's like, okay, in that small way, how much can that be appreciated in terms of like my perspective? Okay, it's a small difference, small little thing, but how far can that go in terms of how it performs on the market? So it can be the same subtopic, same sub industry of the NFT scene, and I have to understand it's not going to be black and white, night and day. There's going to be those small differences.
Cool. All right, well, let's get into it. So it looks like we're going to start from the bottom, I think, right? Is that the plan? Start from number 9.
I think so.
Okay. What would you put at number 9? Like out of those on the right side, what's your what's your least important qualities or traits or factors that go into a long-term success of a project?
I think I'm in between hype and mint day.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, because I'm in between hype and roadmap, so maybe we just split the difference and put hype at number 9.
okay.
If I mean, looks like Pitch Dark has mint day as well.
Should we do any polls? Should we help? Should we get some help? Like a minute or so? Let me see how quick
yeah,
I
we can do
make
some
the
quick
poll.
polls. Yeah. Because we can always present like 2 or 3 that we think on and like have the chat decide which one goes in that spot or something, right?
Yeah. So we got hype, mint day, and what'd you say?
Hype, mint day, and I would put roadmap as like one of my bottom ones. So we could have the chat decide between those 3 which one goes in number 9.
All right, so chat, if you're paying attention, if you're in the chat or you're not near your phone or your laptop, whatever, get back to your laptop, vote, because we're only going to give you guys 60 seconds for each rank.
Yep.
So that goes live now. So if you're in the Twitch chat, vote on which one you think number 9 is. Number 9 is the least priority one.
Yeah, and like I said, I would err on more like roadmap and hype, but I could definitely see mint day as well.
Yeah. That's in Twitch chat. You got about like 30 seconds left. You can do it even if you're on mobile. You just have to, I think, like hide the chat real quick and then click on the bar below the screen.
Cool. All right. Just waiting. Got the final few seconds coming up here.
Yeah. It looks like hype is gonna take. Oh.
Okay.
We got 4-2.
Midtech came up a little bit.
Yo.
Oh, 4-3.
Oh,
All right.
4-3.
Well, it looks like maybe we go hype and then mint day. I think was what the chat's saying, right?
Well, we can do another little poll just in case something else gets in. Like you were saying, maybe roadmap gets in number 8 compared to those two. So we'll just. So then I would think though that we're gonna have mint day again, obviously.
Yep.
And then you're going to say roadmap.
Yeah, I would say roadmap, and my reasoning is just like I'm pretty big on projects like being able to under promise and over deliver. So I guess I would put the good parts of the roadmap that you would probably see as positives. I would add that positivity or that like plus to the core team, right? That basically be me betting on the core team rather than me dissecting a roadmap and be like, you know what, I'm buying this project because of the roadmap, and that's where I would probably like that. That's why I don't really weigh roadmaps as highly as I do with other things.
Yep. All right, so we have the poll going, probably about 50 seconds left. We have roadmap, mint day, and influencers.
So you've got
Go
ahead.
I threw influencers in there just because I kind of wanted 3 options.
Okay.
But for me specifically, I pay 0 attention to influencers. I don't care who you are. I've seen projects where they have major influencers pumping them for an upcoming mint, and I mint 0 of them. I don't even say, oh, what's the name pumping them? They're gonna pop off. Even if they do, they might. I just don't allow myself to be influenced by them.
Yeah. Looks like we got a tie.
All right. So we go two options.
Or yeah.
Well, maybe it'd be the same thing.
No one voted for influencers, so that basically was 2 options. So I want you to be we know where I stand. I want you to be, you're the tiebreaker for number 8, roadmap or mint day. And tell us why. We'll put the other one at 7. That doesn't go at 8.
I'm going to actually say. We may need to flip a coin. I put these on the same level. I'm trying to think personally. Well, if one of these were bad or good.
Let's talk about let's talk about the pros and cons of each. So Pitch Dark asked, like, why do we care about what happened at mint for the longevity of a project?
So the thing is, they might not have longevity sometimes.
Yeah.
On mint day, if it's literally that bad. So,
like for my example for this would be like I said earlier, like Robotos had a terrible mint day. They had so much FUD, and the project basically hung around mint price, which was after gas was like 0.15. It hung around 0.15, 0.2 for months. It even dipped to 0.07 for a while, and but this is why I put more importance on the core team, I think, because they stuck with it. Pablo stuck with it. They kept building, and they were kind of able to stick around and stay relevant for long enough that ended up pulling them out. But if it was someone that wasn't as, you know, if it wasn't a team that wasn't as motivated, or they just let the negativity got to them, I would just see like, you know, I would see most projects being in that same situation, just seeing the writing on the wall, just fail, and then just kind of maybe move on to the next one. That's why I would put mint day as like decently important, but not like crazy important.
I'm gonna go mint day, actually.
Okay, mint day at 8.
About it in my head. Yeah.
So then that would leave roadmap was the other one, right?
Yeah. Because I'm just trying to separate them out in my head in terms of both sides of the spectrum, and I feel like if you have a banger roadmap, like something really great on the top side, versus you have a really good mint day, like really good mint day really doesn't really mean too much in the long term of things. Versus that roadmap, it influences the project a whole lot over the coming like timeline. So
yeah, I guess for the mint day, it's not as important, because if they can get past the mint day FUD, then they're fine, and that's in the past, right? And they don't have to address it anymore. It's just the issue is getting past that, right?
Yep.
We've seen projects get past it, like Gutter Cats, like Robotos, and then we've seen projects that it kills them. They don't get past it, like Crypto Creams. All right, so we've got, I guess let me make this easier. So we've got those 3 gone. So out of these ones remaining,
yeah,
let's put 2 options up for the chat. You pick one, I'll pick one for number 6.
Pick one and one. I'm going to say then art or influencers, maybe. I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna say art.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
I mean, look at Azuki. It's terrible. But look how. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Yeah. Don't listen to him. All right. He didn't mean it. I mean, look at Bored Apes, right? It's, I was gonna pick art as well. Actually, I think art, it matters, but not that much. I would actually put. So now I'm deciding between. Let's do influence. You're debating between them both. Let's do art. Let's actually do a 3 poll, because I want to. No, let's do 2. Art and influencers. Yeah.
Okay, art and influencers.
Let's see what the chat thinks. I actually think my argument for this spot would be to put art here at number 6, because I do think influencers, as much as we don't like them, right? It's easy to say we don't like influencers. Doesn't affect us at all, but they do affect people, and that does get projects into more people's hands. If someone with 100,000 Twitter followers is tweeting about it, right, in a positive way, it gets more eyes on it, which is beneficial to a project to succeed, because it eventually gets you more holders. Cool Cats look like trash. Okay, wait, no, let's put this back up here. This man says Cool Cats look like trash. Look at his pictures.
Yo, wait, vote in the chat. Got 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. We got a little lemon.
He's got that little lemons.
They wouldn't be where they are without Cool Cats. Little lemons.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 votes for art, 0 for influencers. So art, it is.
Yeah, I put art here. And then I guess next, would you out of the 5 remaining?
I think we have to re-vote.
Would we agree that influencers would be there, or is there another one that you would put up there with it?
Yeah, I think we would maybe re-vote because I think maybe
what would your
holders, influencers, and uniqueness would maybe go on the next one.
See,
I don't think holders and uniqueness were too far ahead.
Yeah, I think I would put devs up there as well. Just for me, I know that's here. I know for you, devs is probably high up there just because you're a tech guy, and that's your thing. But I guess for me, we see a lot of projects outsource devs, and they don't actually stay on the team because they can always outsource someone like a dev to come in and do something as well. But
I'm down with that. Pitch Dark, down with that. Number 5 rank, devs and influencers. Jeeler.
Toasty says influencers made it too far. I don't like it, Toasty. I don't like it. Trust me, I don't like it, but hey, if you own a project, don't lie, you like seeing someone with like 200,000 followers tweet about it, right? It's, or you see someone famous come in and buy it because they've got this big following. Like, it's like, even though we hate it, it does put eyes on the project, and I think that's success. I think that's good.
But would there be hype, Pitch Dark, without influencers? That was kind of how I separated them. Hype, they're almost the same, but hype for me is coming more from like the community side, which is good and bad. You got vets, you got people who have been here a year or two, and then you got newbies.
Looks like it's gonna be influencers, yeah. All right. Top 4. Maybe we just maybe now we just do polls of all 4 and just throw them all up there, and we can let them decide. But if it was me choosing, I would probably do either devs or uniqueness here.
I'm saying devs. I think we can just agree on this one, to be honest. I feel like
you think devs.
I think Chad is gonna pick devs as well.
Let's rip it off. Devs off the board. Now we got our top 3. We've got holders, the core team, and then is the project unique. Which I think these are. I think this is. If I was picking my top 3, this probably would be my top 3. Like if I was just picking this list.
Yeah, we could do. I can tell you my top 3 right now, I guess, from the back from this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say core team, holders, and then uniqueness in that order. 1, 2, 3. Core team, holders, uniqueness.
I would. That'd actually be my exact top 3 as well. Core team, holders, and uniqueness. Because
psych, that wasn't my answer. What I really wanted to do was fight you about something. So I'm gonna go. Uniqueness, holders, core team.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I switched mine to that.
Okay, dude.
No. I think core team is number 1 because I think we've seen this. Like, if you look at the history of Bored Apes, like their core team is literally like one of the reasons why they're so valuable and so how the project's been so well done. And then right next to that, the holders of Bored Apes have really helped elevate the project, right?
For sure.
And they're the ones that, if something happens, does the floor drop right away? Do you have shaky holders that are going to go through and just, FUD their own bags and just throw it off to the side? I'd go core team, holders, and then uniqueness.
Even Pitch Dark copying us, bro. But I don't think we take that for granted because Toasty does have a little disagreement here. He said, I'm guessing that he would say maybe core team, uniqueness, and holders. Yeah. So maybe holders is less important than uniqueness to us.
I think I'm pretty sure we could probably slot core team at number 1. It sounds like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think we can have a vote now between this 2 and 3 spot.
Sounds good.
And so let's do a vote. What's number for the number 3 spot? Is it holders or uniqueness?
or I'll just hopefully this doesn't confuse anybody.
Or for I guess
I'll just say 2 and 3, holders, and then uniqueness. Uniqueness. We've been saying it this whole time, but it's kind of a nice word. Don't let Coquina find out.
Unique. Oh, fan. Did we just make the new meta? This is the new metaverse. Liquidity, decentralized. It's gonna be uniqueness now.
All right. So for 2 and 3, is it holders uniqueness or uniqueness holders? And I gave y'all 2 minutes this time to vote on what the order is going to be.
Yeah, that's a good way to do the vote without confusing them. I like it.
And yeah, so if you're listening, if you have us on audio, this is the last vote. So be sure to come back to your device, come back to your mobile, come back to your laptop. Be sure to vote in the poll. Let us know what's 2 and 3. We're down to this final vote to give us the entire list, 1 to 9, ranked qualities. You got about 80 seconds, 70 seconds.
Oh, we are seeing some. We're 3-2 right now. It's close.
It is close. I have not voted.
What would your argument be to put holders at number 2 over uniqueness?
I feel like we would want to appreciate uniqueness, and this goes back to the conversation I was having earlier. Again, with Nipsey Taylor, the uniqueness, and like I feel like degens say that, but then they don't back that up with their money, right? They don't put their money where their mouth is.
Right.
They really vote with their money, like in terms of the holders, like Gutter Cat aped into this, Cool Cats aped into this, Azuki holders bought this, and I always hear holders, and I don't necessarily hear a whole bunch on uniqueness in terms of why somebody apes in or buys in.
Yeah.
But it is a conversation on every single project that I've had, right? Oh, they're just copying whoever, or oh, nobody's done this. So it is definitely a big conversation. But when people, literally send the transaction, I often hear them doing that because of another community welled in.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, Toasty has a really good point though. Like without that uniqueness, would they even well in or ape in to buy?
BSB coming in with the spicy take. Holders should be less than influencers. Every holder is a sheep.
Are we canceling BSB?
I mean, maybe we should agree with him. Maybe he's onto something, right?
Nah, he's just being honest, to be honest. I think he's speaking facts.
Yeah, he's speaking the truth. So it looks like the vote was holders. I definitely understand Tosi's agreement, or his argument, that I think we see a lot of projects strive to be like, hey, we're the first to do this, we're the first to do this, we're the first to do this. And it's like, it's to draw in more holders because of how unique you are, right? And I get that, but I guess for a long-term success, I would rather have, I would rank holders just slightly above it because, the core team, they can do what they can, but the holders, like, how involved are holders into a community? Like, are you going to have someone like Pranksy who buys 1,000 of a project, sits on it in his wallet and does absolutely nothing in the community and just waits for something to happen, right? Like, you want holders that are going to be active in the community. They're going to help build up, basically they help build your brand with you, and they partner with, they're basically partnering with the core team to build the brand, build the project, and be representative of them across, Twitter, Discord, or wherever.
Yeah, and I think this was like a great conversation piece, great conversation topic, because this isn't the right answer. This is just
exactly
the ranking that we came out with trying to make a one size fits all. So I mean, somebody could come in here and blow up this entire thing with their argument, and it could make sense for sure. Just like Toasty's saying about 2 and 3. So Toasty is almost like what came first, chicken or the egg. That's how I kind of see that one. But yeah, I think either way, the list is,
you know what, your argument with the chicken and the egg is not very unique because Toasty already said that earlier.
Oh shoot.
So I mean, we actually need your arguments to be more. We need more uniqueness from your arguments as well.
Yeah. But besides the scuff graphics of this thing, I really
okay, dude. This is the dark mode. Wait, let's go. We got to go some more dark mode here. This is literally what I was doing. There we go.
Okay. We have art at number 6. It doesn't really matter.
Look at that. Dark mode.
Art didn't even make the top 5. We're chilling.
Yeah, so there's our ranking of how important we think things are, and the chat kind of helped out as well. But like you said, yeah, this is and it may change. Like our opinion may change next week, but I think the top and the bottom, number 9, 8, 7, they're not going to jump to 1, 2, and 3, right? And 1, 2, 3 is not going to jump down to the bottom. If anything changes, it's going to be like they move up a slot, move down a slot, but that's going to be it.
I think Pitch had an interesting point. Maybe is to move hype or switch hype and influencers, or at least give hype a little more credit. I could see something like that.
Right.
Definitely taking place. We may have underestimated hype, but hey, we voted, we talked about it. That's where it ended up.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that was a nice little fun discussion. Something interesting just to kind of talk about. And yeah. Any final thoughts before we sign off for the day? This is a long one today.
Azuki down from 35 ETH or whatever.
Let's sign off now. I'm not listening to that.
But there was bad news and now there's good news, right? It hit a 19, 20 ETH floor, and now we're back at 22.
Okay, we're up only now.
Yo, we're pamping. Speaking of pamping, we also have ApeCoin back over $11.
Okay.
So hey, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Maybe this morning was the bottom, and now we're slowly gonna work our way back up. One of our viewers, by the way, and I just messaged him in the chat, but I wanted you to take a look at this page and bring it up yourself and let me know, hey, would you mint this? Would you not? Do you have any advice? I told him, no, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna let him know. I'm not gonna let you know what I told him. I'm gonna have you do it live.
You're gonna have me do it live? You want me to share my screen while I do it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
But we're not saying go mint this. This was a viewer question. He asked, how do we feel about this project?
All right, the ILO-verse.
Yeah.
40K. It's minting now. It's not sold out yet?
And then, as Laces out pointed out, you have a follow-up. You have an answer to your Coinbase question after you're done with this.
Okay. Perfect. I'm out on these. Yeah, I'm not a minter.
So what I told him is that it looked like a scam because the website, the marketing, all the assets, the media assets, the stuff on Twitter that they're doing, all of it is reminiscent of the previous scams that we saw, not even in March, in February.
Is a brand new Twitter profile. It has 6 tweets, right? Yeah. This is one of the person that's over operations. They have 6 tweets, right?
This is basically. It reminds me of the ones from the NFT Instagram. It's like copy paste of what they were doing.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm out.
For that reason, yeah, I would stay away from it. It just, I personally, I'm just staying away from a lot of new mints now, unless it's something with like we talked about. If it has a strong core team, like if it's a proven team like the other side, I'm gonna mint that. But outside of that, I'm not minting a lot right now with the current market. I'm kind of staying away and just kind of stacking ETH and that favorite word that Gokino loves. I'm stacking my liquidity. Right? All liquidity. So yeah, I'm definitely staying away from that one. I looked at that for like 30 seconds to a minute, and I just saw like 2 or 3 red flags immediately. So that's nothing I want to be involved in. All right. Well, okay. Well, before we sign off again, let's just pull this up. Here it is. Definitely something. Sorry, it's turning into a longer stream. This is live breaking. We need like a da-na-na, or some kind of live breaking news, even though this was 10 minutes ago. So Coinbase tweeted definitely something. So they're creating an interactive 3-part film. An interactive, interesting. Okay. So there you go. Coinbase, ApeCoin, and BAYC. I don't know what this means by like an interactive 3-part film. Like, how is it interactive? I guess this is their website, dgentrilogy.com. Okay, dude. Connect Coinbase wallet.
If this wasn't coming from their Twitter or like Bored Apes, would you even interact with the site?
No, I wouldn't have gone to it live on stream if it wasn't from the Coinbase official account. But
because it looks pretty sus.
Do you have a Coinbase wallet? Like,
yeah, I do. I went and snagged my name because
I know I know that they can't do MetaMask because if it's under them, like they have to keep track of it, and it's like their thing. And but I don't know. It's if this wasn't coming from Coinbase, I'd be sketched out. But I don't really have one set up right now to actually connect with.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it looks pretty sus. I mean, maybe this is their, shtick, and maybe this is like their angle that they're going for. But you would think it'd look a little more high quality. It has nothing to do about the theme. You can do high quality 8-bit, whatever it is, retro, but a little more information, a little bit, I don't know, better design. Even the something is brewing. You know how simple that was? Like literally little like picture in the background, little gradient over and text and sign up. Yep. Even that looked better than this.
So it looks like, here's how you can help us make this movie. First, get a Coinbase wallet. Now, this is just a way for them to get people to get their wallet. But I guess you submit your Bored Ape and then vote on the title that you like. So I guess that's how it's interactive. Is you submit your Bored Ape and then you vote on a title.
And then you lose it.
And then you lose your ape. And by submitting, they mean by submit your Bored Ape, you actually transfer it to their address, right? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. And it looks like in the comments that it's not for mutants. It's just for the OG Bored Apes. Yeah. Coinbase gonna get all Franklin's apes in one transaction.
Yeah. Look, yeah. It looks dope. Excited to see what this is.
Yeah. Are you gonna play at this today and submit your ape? Or
I'm gonna wait.
You're protecting your IP?
Nah, I am gonna wait for a little bit.
That's one of my
touching this site, dog.
One of my favorite quotes or like favorite pieces of advice I see. I think 0x Quit is one that puts it out there, or 0x Bender, one of the guys that always looks through all the contracts. One of their like things they preach is don't be the first, right? So especially stuff like this where you have to connect a wallet, especially if you're ape, don't be the first. Let someone else do it and make sure it's safe, and let someone else break it down before you go through with it. So yeah, I'm gonna take that advice, and I'm not gonna be the first. I'm gonna watch from the sideline and see. All right, I'm sure it sounds like we're gonna have some more information on this probably in the next coming days. So on Wednesday we can break it down even more. But outside of that, any final thoughts or news or notes that you have?
We don't need to talk about the birds. We already know all about the birds.
Yep.
I did want to shout out the Ghost collection coming up on Wednesday or so. I think it's Wednesday. The Ghost comic collection.
Yep.
So maybe that's a play that you guys are interested in. If you're not familiar with Ghosts, they are pretty big, so I don't know where you've been. But essentially, way back then, Ghost started out as like a raffle and pay next to nothing to get like this hand-drawn art piece. I was fading Ghost hard. But they turned out to be like, what it was the floor for like a Ghost, right? In that 70, 90 ETH or something like that for the OG.
For OG Ghost, I think I saw them at 66 when I looked over the weekend.
So yeah, pretty close to 70, so 65, 70. So if you're interested in Moonbirds because of the proof price, this is kind of like the same idea. That's not why I'm interested in it, but so Ghost comic coming out. Moonbird, that raffle ended Sunday, so if you didn't enter the raffle, feels bad. You find out if you went on Friday, mint on Saturday. The other thing was Frontier, and the reason I mentioned this, and I do have Frontier stuff, but if you don't have Frontier and you don't have money to spend on it, I'm just telling you about this because they're doing a PFP art competition. So this is a way to potentially get into Frontier, but for free. So, not trying to shill because you would get it for free. So if you guys are good with the pencil, be sure to enter that.
Cool. Perfect. Well, I don't have anything. So today was, I think, our longest stream, basically almost right at 2 hours. So I thought it was gonna be a shorter stream today because I didn't have too much planned. But we got rambling and we got talking, so that's good. But yeah, so we will be back here on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Like as usual, if anything changes, we'll let you guys know. But yeah, until then, like always, drink that water, check that posture, get those whitelists, and yeah, be your own alpha. Take care.
Sir. Yeah, if y'all have questions or anything, like topics for us to introduce next time, projects to talk about like PitchStark, House of Kiba. Stream's a little long today, so we'll definitely try to talk about this next time. Appreciate the input and the feedback, and thanks for interacting today. Yo, be your own alpha.
Peace. Love you too, TrueCon.
See ya. Love you, Chukan. Te amo mucho.